Kaja Kallas, the High Commissioner for the Foreign Affairs and the Security Policy of the European Union, and ladies and gentlemen, August Assembly. In the beginning, I'd like to welcome the dear friend, Mrs. Kaja Kallas, in her first visit to Egypt since she has took this appointment or her position. This visit comes in line with a great group of challenges, several challenges that we all face, not only at the level of the relations with the European Union, but also at the level of continuous coordination between Egypt and the European Union on the regional and international issues, with mutual keenness from Egypt and the European Union to establish peace and stability in Middle East and the Mediterranean region. The relations, as you know, with the European Union has been elevated since last year to reach the level of a strategic partnership, a comprehensive partnership, and we are proud of this elevation of the relation, and we are working on further development of this relation. And the 6 axes included either the political axis, the economic axis, the commercial axis, or the axis of cooperation in combating illegal migration, or the axis of cooperation in the defense and security fields, in addition to the axis of educational and cultural cooperation between both sides, and Egypt's involvement in the European projects, important projects like Horizon Europe and Erasmus+, in addition to the axis of interaction between different peoples in Egypt and the different peoples of the European Union. Together with Her Excellency, we reviewed the 6 axes of these strategic comprehensive partnerships, and we agreed on the importance of activating the political axis by holding the first Egyptian-European summit this year at the level of the President of the State, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and Mrs. Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the European Commission, and Mr. Costa, the head of the European Council. We also agreed on the importance on further work on developing and activating the political, the economic and investment axis, and we reaffirmed on the importance of more commercial exchange by more access to the Egyptian goods in the European Union in order to tackle the deficit in the trade balance, in addition to raising the European investments in the different economic sectors in Egypt. It's very important to build upon the results of the first investment conference between Egypt and the European Union that was held in June last year in Cairo. And we are preparing for holding the second edition of this conference in the European Union capital, Brussels, in line with the Egyptian-European Summit. We also agreed upon the importance to continue implementing the financial component of the European package with a value of 7.4 million euros by quick endorsement of the second segment with a total of 4 billion euros after the transaction of or the transfer of the first segment last December, in addition to maximizing the benefit from the investment guarantees allowed by the European Union to the small and medium enterprises with total of 1.8 billion euros in order to raise investments in Egypt. Here I'd like to refer to that the International Commerce Committee in the European Parliament has endorsed the second segment of the package, and we are anticipating a voting on this segment in the European Parliament in the upcoming weeks, and we hope that this is done smoothly and quickly. We also tackled the axis of migration and movement, and we confirmed on the importance of enhancing the paths of regular migration between Egypt and the European Union, in addition to enhancing the partnership of the talents or talent partnership for its paramount importance, so the European Union can benefit from the youth community here in Egypt with their experience and the clever labor in Egypt, especially that most of the European Union countries suffer from old ages. So this is very important, and it can achieve good for both sides. We also confirmed the importance of tackling the illegal migration from its roots by supporting the economic or the socioeconomic development in Egypt while providing job opportunities. We also stressed on the achievement accomplished by Egypt since 2016 by preventing the waves of illegal migration and preventing them from leaving from any Egyptian coast since then and until now. I also talked to her about hosting almost 10 million refugees here in Egypt. We are looking forward for further support from the side of the European Union, so we can deal with the challenges, the social and economic challenges incurred by Egypt due to the burden of hosting such a huge number of foreign guests. Especially this comes in a time we are facing huge economic challenges in Egypt due to external reasons like the Ukrainian crisis and its implication on the food prices, in addition to the crisis in the Red Sea region, and how this affected the revenues of the Suez Canal, and how we lost more than 65% of the revenues, exceeding $8 billion. From my side, I confirmed on the Egyptian priority to implement the axis of enhancing the human capital. And Egypt, in this regard, has joined the European Union initiatives on research and innovation. Dear attendees, we discussed in details together with Ms. Kaja Kallas a number of regional files and international issues that are important for both sides. On top of them, definitely, the core of the conflict in the Middle East region, which is the Palestinian cause. Together, we reviewed the vision and the intensified efforts exerted by Egypt in cooperation with our brothers in Qatar and in coordination with our friends in the United States of America to work on a return to the de-escalation and to stop the Israeli aggression against the innocent civilians and disarmed civilians in Gaza Strip. I also stressed on the importance to commit to the ceasefire agreement that was reached to before in January. And we need to work on swift movement towards the negotiations of the second phase of the implementation of the ceasefire agreement, especially after achieving success in implementing the first phase despite of the obstacles that we faced. From my side, I confirm the fact that the only way to release all the hostage, especially when they are alive, is to return to the negotiation table and to commit to the ceasefire agreement. I also informed Ms. Kaja Kallas on all the details of the Islamic Arab plan related to the reconstruction. I also conveyed to her thanks and appreciation to regarding the positive situation taken by the European Union towards this plan, especially that this plan is a glimpse of hope for the Palestinian people and preserves its right in building their home country and to the self-determination, and it preserves the right in staying in their land, in their territory, and not getting out of it. In this regard, I cannot miss to extend deep thanks and appreciation to Ms. Kaja Kallas for her stance supporting the plan, and to the member states of the European Union for welcoming this plan during the works of the latest European summit. From my side, I stressed on the paramount importance of establishing a political horizon that gives hope to the Palestinian people to establish their independent state with Eastern Jerusalem as its capital. I also affirmed on our aspiration to receive European support to all the Arab, Egyptian and Islamic efforts exerted to reach a ceasefire. And I also talked about the paramount importance of deploring the Israeli aggression against Gaza Strip, and we need to work on stopping this aggression and committing to the ceasefire agreement that we reached to before last January. We also talked about the importance of doing this in order to move forward in the reconstruction process. We highly value the strong stance taken by the European Union, the stance supporting the two-state solution and the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people. We also agreed on the necessity to provide full support to UNRWA that is not replaceable when it comes to providing the basic humanitarian services to the Palestinian refugees. I also informed Ms. Kallas on the efforts exerted by Egypt to prepare for the reconstruction conference hosted in Cairo with participation from all the players in the international community, and how important to return to the de-escalation so we can achieve the reconstruction. As you know, after meeting Ms. Kallas, the High Representative of the European Union, there will be a meeting for her with the Islamic Arab Ministerial Delegation. She'll have a meeting with them. This delegation or this committee was assigned to continue communication with all the international parties to work on promoting the outcomes of the Arab Summit, especially in relation to the Arab Islamic Recovery and Reconstruction Plan, and to work on supporting the Palestinian people on their territories. Finally, our discussions witnessed the developments in Syria. I also confirmed on Egypt's support to the brotherly people of Syria. We also agreed on maintaining the sovereignty of Syria and the unity of its territories. We also expressed our full rejection to the escalation happened in the Syrian coast area that resulted in the death of many civilian casualties. We here reiterate on the importance of an inclusive political transitional process to include all the components of the brotherly people of Syria, because this is the only path to achieve security and stability in Syria, in addition to continuing the efforts related to combating terrorism so Syria can become a source of stability in this region. We discussed the situation in Lebanon, and from my side I talked about the serious escalation from the Israeli side. This escalation warns us that the conflict will happen or will return to in Lebanon, and we need to agree on stopping the hostilities, including the full withdrawal by Israel from the south of Lebanon, and implementation of UN Resolution 1701 completely. We also agreed on intensifying cooperation and coordination in the Red Sea region to guarantee the freedom of the international navigation so it can return to its normal rates. In the Red Sea, we also discussed the situation in the African Horn and in the African Sahel area. From my side, I reiterated stress the importance of this water security issue. Again, we would like to welcome Ms. Kallas, and we are confirming our commitment towards further coordination and consultation with the European Union to guarantee a prosperous future for the relations between Egypt and the European Union, and distinguish the relations in the Arab region and the Middle East and the European Union, hoping to see these relations moving to a wider horizon. And the floor is yours.